All right, we're gonna look at a triangle, starting from closed guard, and then we're gonna move into a seated guard. So if I'm here, I need to, we looked at it from a shoulder crunch, but potentially it could work from a pinch headlock as well. So I'm just grip fighting from here, trying to dominate my partner's hands. I could do a knee pull and pull his arm over the top and end up with some limb extension. So now I'm gonna go into my shoulder crunch. So as always, whenever we do a shoulder crunch, I want my elbow pointing to the ceiling. The more that I close my arm, the less control I get on Liam's shoulder. So just slip your elbow here, pull out, right? So what I want to do is get some internal rotation on his arm and point my elbow to the ceiling. So now when he tries to pull his arm out, it's pretty jammed up. So I'm going to look to start hitting a side scissor, and then from here, looking to get my butterfly hook. Now from here, again, I do another stress test. Can you pull your arm out here, Liam? So he's jammed up. I'm going to off balance him to the side, and he's not going to let me sweep him because he has posts on that side. And then I pummel my second hook in. So now from here, what I can do is I can hit my front shift, and I want to come to a full seated position. Again, he's extended here. So when he tries to pull his arm out, I always need to test my partner here, make sure that he can't pull his arm out. Then I'm just going to post foot to the hip, and then I retract my right foot, and I shoot my leg right up and over and get a nice solid connection on his neck here. So from this position, I'm going to usually let go of his arm and trade for his head, because if his head rises, that's when I lose the triangle. Now from here, we looked at an inverted finish like we always try to do. So when Liam starts to stack me here, I'm just gonna try and go and get my hips off the floor and bring my left knee into the side of his neck. Then I can lock the triangle, and then if needed, I can make a hand assist. So we got it again. So this way. So again, a little bit of hand fighting, right? We're pulling him over, boom. Get to my shoulder punch. Start off balancing, I'm moving back into a seated position. I go foot to the hip, fire up and over. Now he's gonna start to stack me, right? So I go upside down and I lock the triangle, okay? So a couple questions that came up. First one was, let's just do it again. We got here, and then we were getting asked about this leg getting jammed up. So now I can't bring my foot over the top because he's managing me. So I'm just gonna look to off balance him and make him post. All right, if he doesn't post, like if he just keeps my leg, then there's no reason why I can't start rolling through and going into jiu-jitsu, okay? Or he'll fall over sometime. So I'm here, he's gonna grab my leg, okay? I can make him post. Now, I'm always just extending him and then bringing my leg up and getting that solid purchase right here behind or on the side of his neck. Now I'm just gonna grab his head. And a lot of time I could finish right here, or if he gives me that resistance, I'm gonna go upside down, pivot, and I really wanna make sure that I'm taking my knee and pushing everything in behind my right knee here, like that. Now I lock the trap triangle, and then I can get in. I also got asked about the wrong-sided triangle, so like let's say I get here, and this guy buries his arm inside, so we should go over this as well, just the wrong-sided triangle. So two reactions we could get. One is this guy starts stacking me head over head. So I'm gonna need to open up my triangle here and grab his head. Then I'm gonna scoop his leg. Just bring your head over my head, Liam. Exactly. So whenever I get this reaction, I'm looking to pivot all the way inside. Trying to get my knee to point inside, and I'm trying to get my leg to come up and over, almost parallel to the floor, right behind Liam's shoulders, and then I can finish this reverse triangle. So again, if he's driving his head over my head, I got to get my knee inside. I'm almost bringing my head inside his leg. So I'm going to use my leg as a kipping movement and go all the way inside for a really tight hantai senkaku. We'll look at the hantai as well. Let's say instead of stacking me, he just puts his elbow on the floor and drives all of his weight down. So this is a very common reaction as well. He's just like burying his weight on this side. So whenever he does that, I can't invert underneath because he's not head over head. I'm just going to get my leg to run across his shoulder. So I get my hips above his hips. I grab his elbow and I pivot. And now let's just turn. So I always want, as I'm pulling this arm in, I want to get my shin running parallel to his arm. Whenever I do that, I know I'm in the right position. So now I'm just going to grab my foot and bring it as high on his shoulder as I can. I lock the figure four, and then I get a nice finish here. Okay, so that was just entering triangles from closed guard, converting it to a seated guard through the shoulder crunch.